3, look out. It's only me, it's only the Kimmer. And I should be speaking softly because Pete Davis has got one of those freaking migraine things, and he's been at the doctor all. I hope he's like sleeping it off or drugged out or something. Anyway, but Flounder's here in full swing. The Mechanical Mangler 303. I don't do it. And it's Let It Rip Friday. Anything goes. Just like every day. Your day sucks, man. I love you. It's Friday. I'm in love. Man, we got so much to talk about today, too. A lot of fun, good stuff, happy things. We'll talk about migraines, in fact. Saluting holy matrimony, starting with a baseball star. That's coming up. But first, Saturday! Look out. Sunday. I love this stupid song. In fact, I have it in my car. Do you have in your car, do you have a programming thing where if a song comes up, it'll tell you can switch to it?
What do you mean, like on the computer screen, or
no, as I'm driving along on my little screen there, where it says it says radio playing, whatever the song title. It'll go diddly deet deet deet, and it'll show a sign that says Friday I'm in Love is playing. Do you want to switch to it or not? And so I can switch to it. And you can program in your
like a preview.
Favorite, well, you can program your like a list of your 10 favorite songs, and if they're ever and any channel they're on, this is on FX, Sirius XM, whatever it is. So, and it only gives you, I think, like 8 or 10. But still, so if you ever want to make sure you never miss your favorite songs while you're in the car on any of their like 200 radio things for XM, it'll let you switch to it, which is kind of cool. Anyway, and you can change it if you want to, stuff like that. All right. Well, as you can tell, folks, it's going to be Let It Rip Friday. Anything goes. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. And God bless Pete. I hope he's sleeping. I hope he's all drugged up because, and I really, he's talking. This happened to him before. It happened to him. Hell, our last day on the radio.
Yeah, he had to leave.
Our last day on the radio, he lasted like 40 minutes or something. So he had to go. Thank God he didn't crack up on the way back. But, they're debilitating.
And by random occurrence, no offense, Wayne showed up on our last day, and he was able to help produce.
That was great. In fact, it really was, it was the end. It was the end. And it doesn't figure that, Wayne, no offense, was, my early producer, 15 years earlier, and Pete became my partner, and then he had to leave, and Wayne was... And anyway, things come around.
Did Wayne and Pete ever work together?
Absolutely. Overlapping, but I don't think worked on
the same show.
Oh, well, actually, that's not true. I know they did some comedy stuff. They did, but
they never worked on your show.
Not on my show together. Although Pete, I'll tell you what happened when I did that show. By the way, is this at all interesting?
Yeah, it's Friday. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah, we can do whatever we want. Anyway, and by the way, we have really some newsy stuff and fun stuff, but. What the hell was that? When I was doing when they gave me the afternoon show. I said, I'll do it on one condition. I want Pete Davis to do a sportscast somewhere in the 5 o'clock hour. And so they went to Pete and he said, well, Kimmer, big shot, wants you to do a sportscast and somewhere in the 5 o'clock hour. The problem was at the time, Pete was also doing morning sports, and he was also going up to the Falcons training camp up in Silly Rapid there. What's the name of the, I can't remember the name of the guy. The name won't come out of my mouth, or wherever the Falcons train.
Sugarloaf. It was up by Sugarloaf.
Swanee or not Swanee?
Little North Swanee.
Yeah, whatever it is. Anyway, and so he was going, so he said, well, I'll do it on one condition. I don't have to go up there anymore. Anyway, so everything worked out for everybody. But then, and so we became a team then, and when we came back to work and stuff. But anyway, whatever. So Pete's got a migraine, and I think I can remember having maybe 3 headaches in my life. For some reason, I'm lucky about that. I have a lot of other issues, but anyway. Okay, let's see. God, I've got so many funny things to talk about. Oh, I almost got, it's a Friday, and of course it's 3:08 just about in the afternoon, so everybody's basically gone. In fact,
there's nobody here.
There's nobody here. Well, and the funny part was, Flounder, about now between, since I'm on the air from 3 to 6, I don't have time to hit the head. I can't leave here from the studio and go it's all the way down the hall, and then...
You make it sound like it's in another building.
Well, no, it's a couple of 100 yards, and then you have to do your business, and then you have to pretend to wash your hands hands in case somebody else is in there, like most guys. No, seriously, most guys, oh, yeah, let me I got to wash my hands now, kind of, just so they don't talk about you. I mean, my guy, give me a break. Anyway, so by the time I got back, I don't have time. I can't, I don't want to leave the studio. So anyway, when I'm, oh my God, I'm just floundering. So my point is that sometime around 2:30 or 2:45, I go and hit the head, make the head call. Okay, so I leave the door. This is true. I leave the door, and by the way, this. Okay, I'm rambling, but I've got to get. It's in there and it's got to come out. So now in our studio, in our office here, when you leave, it's a set of two great big glass doors. Okay, and you push them out when you leave. Okay, so and when you get to them, there's a little did it, and that shows you that you're about to go out, and it unlocks the doors for you because they're always locked unless you have a key card. Or you ring the bell. So they're always, let's go, did it, it'll let you out. Okay, so let me out. I hit the head, come right back, and I get to the door, and I pull my key card out, and I put it on the scanner, and nothing happened. And the door went open. Oh, crap. I did it like 6 times. So I started banging on the glass. I'm literally out there going, hey, Flounder. Of course, he can't. He's way around in the corner. I said, oh, crap. And I hit the door again. And then for some reason, I just sort of almost accidentally hit the other glass door right next to where I was banging, and it opened. So
there's a sign on the door that says, use this door.
Well, I didn't see that. Well, by the time I left, by the time I came back, the sign said office is closed, and that's all I saw on the sign. I didn't see use this door. All it said office is closed, and so I'm banging. I'm gonna get back in the house anyway.
So on the other side, when you're walking out, that sign says door locked for the weekend. Use other door.
I didn't see that. I'm walking. I'm looking for stuff for the show. I'm looking at my phone, looking at Facebook. So I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, whatever. That's the kind of day it's been. Oh God, this is so boring. I'm so sorry. Okay. Here's the deal. On our birthday list today, I'm going to put that over there. On our birthday list today is Lily Tomlin. 84 years old. She's kind of weird, but we're going to, later on today, in fact, every hour, we're going to play a little Lily Tomlin bit. If you're of a certain age and you ever used to watch Laugh-In, among other things, she was Lily Tomlin known for Ernestine, the telephone operator. Also, Frankie on the Netflix show Grace and Frankie. She was Violet Newstead in 9 to 5. And Lily Tomlin was also, I thought, they didn't even list her here in this biography thing. Lily Tomlin, I thought, was great in West Wing as the secretary who took over for the dead one.
Yeah.
I mean, she really
very dry. She was deadpan, very funny.
It was, and her lines were great. I mean,
she also wasn't a fan of the administration.
She's a
conservative.
Screaming, yeah. I mean, that's what I mean. I don't agree with her politics, but she's a great actor, and she was funny. And that Ernestine, if you don't, I guess, and Flounder, have you ever even seen her do that bit?
Well, I didn't know who she was until I Googled her and looked at her, and then I remember her as the secretary from The West Wing. Okay, so that's how I know her. She's been in a couple films, but I didn't know her from that bit.
Wasn't she in the Steve Martin film where he had one arm tied behind his back the whole time, half working or something?
I'd have to look and see.
Oh my! I think that was Lily Tomlin, and it was a Steve Martin movie, and it was like he got paralyzed for half his body or something, or she did, or I don't remember. It was something weird like that, and it was pretty funny.
All of me.
All of me. And I forgot what the premise was, but it was really pretty funny. Anyway, but now, so you never saw her do Ernestine?
No, not until I was looking at them earlier on YouTube and getting them ready.
Now, Ernestine was back in the 70s, of course.
It sounds like an SNL bit.
It is exactly what it was, Saturday Night Live kind of deal. And she'd say, "Is this the party to whom I'm talking?" Which, of course, makes no sense. I mean, but it was just, anyway, it was kind of a gig. Anyway, so the point is we're going to play her later on. God, I've got to stop this. Why am I talking? Because I miss my buddy. Sorry. All right, we got that going for us. Let's see. All right. Let me tell you. I'll tell you some of the issues. We actually have issues, and we're going to salute a newlywed here in just 1 second. In a couple. As soon as we come back, 12. It's 3:13. 3:13. They've caught him again. They've caught him again. President soon owned him, the cheat. And by the way, did you hear him right during the news break at 3 o'clock? He starts yelling again at his audience saying, it's the best economy we've ever had. It's the best one. Yeah, you yell at me like you yelled at me when you said that when you came out with a Marine in the fiery red freaking jaws of hell and complained about white people and MAGA Republicans being a danger to America. You can kiss my foot. I hate what you stand for, you dirty, stinking, lying crook. Oh, hey, I feel a little bit back to normal. What happened? What happened? 313. Look out. Here we go. Birthdays include Alan Dershowitz, 85 today. Has been O.J.'s lawyer. He took a little heat for this book, The Case Against Impeaching Trump, and of course he was right. I'll tell you, this is the way it used to be. I always had respect for liberals who I respected as clear thinkers who had a point of view and respected it, but weren't, mean-spirited and nasty and tried to kill me or, to set me in a freaking cage and take away my gun. Alan Dershowitz is a screaming social liberal, but he's also a man who's got a brain on his head, and he knows what's right and wrong, and he appreciates the nature of this country from the very beginning with our Declaration of Independence and in the Constitution. My God. I mean, that's the way liberals used to be. There was none of this crap going on where they're lying to us and cheating, do everything they can to keep us in a corner and shut down. Anyway, so Alan Dershowitz, happy birthday, Alan. And one quick history note on this day in 1864. Too bad Pete isn't with us here today because this is the day that Yankee General William Sherman captured Atlanta. 1864. That's a doop-bum-boom. Okay. Oh, by the way, I posted a little thing on Facebook, Rumble, and YouTube shortly before the program began, showing my latest technology with my cutting and pasting method, where I actually have now brought my own roll of Scotch tape. Hey, I have to say, in fact, I told Flan, this place has the cheapest Scotch tape. It's it's so flimsy. I don't know where they get it, but it's like Army surplus or something. I probably had it from World War II. It's so you can't tear. Anyway, so I brought my own. I have a little satchel here, and I got brought my own Scotch tape, so I can do my own cutting and pasting the Kimmer way. By the way, here's our phone number. We love phone calls. Now, I will say this. Flounder's, to get to the phone, Flounder has to go to the back part of his studio, which is through the glass here, and then get
there's
back
a way,
to...
Well, today, there's a way I can do it at the front on the board here, so I can, if anything,
cool.
I can kind of just... relay it that way, so no worries.
Okay. Well, again, we're doing what we do. That's all. This, and in fact, I'm going to talk about the. That might be amusing. Here's our phone number: area 404-741-1230, 741-1230. And I've been joking off and on because Flounder is actually it's a pretty good sized studio in there. He has all the board and mechanical stuff in there. But to get to the phone screening, normally he has to go to the back of the studio, do this thing, and then come back to the front of his studio to get on the mic. Okay. So anyway, you've been hearing me talk about this off and on, goofing around about it. So I got a text today from Scotty, the window guy. Says, hey, Kimmer, you want me to come up there and answer the phones and help you guys out? I'm always afraid to answer when Scotty texts me with something he wants to do something. So I try to ignore it for a while. Then
we'll be just fine, Scotty.
Yeah. I was afraid to forward this to you, and so you handle it. Because so he says, if so, just give me the address and tell me which time to be there. So I started no. I said, only if you're a 21-year-old hot babe with a daddy complex. Okay, a granddaddy complex. Anyway, so no, thank you. We're good. We're good, Scotty. That's everything's fine. Which I thought was fairly amusing. But again, we'll be good. So here's the number: 404-741-1230. If you want to join us, whatever's on your mind, we got a million things, goofy stuff and happy stuff to talk about. Well, in fact, let's do this. I had an incredible... I put this on Facebook, too, and Rumble and YouTube. My experience in the Publix parking lot today. I'll talk about it in a couple of minutes. We'll get to that. Also, I'll give you an update on yesterday's meal from Chick-fil-A and how what the deal was. But first, Flounder, let's do our celebrity star baseball marital bliss story. Can we do that right now? It's 3:22.
Absolutely.
And I got the biggest kick out of this. And it was almost like, maybe it's just me when last night and again this morning. Well, I didn't watch the game last night. I'm talking about the Braves out in the West Coast. But this morning, it was almost like I didn't hear anybody talk about it or mention anything about this. This was, to me, is an amazing story. Ronald Acuña, who is the superstar, of all time in baseball right now, last night not only got married, he also did this.
2-2 pitch on the way. He strikes one well to left field, back to the wall, screaming through the night. It's a grand slam! And Acuña doing MVP things here in the top of the second inning.
Grand slam after he just got married. What a story. Yeah, he was at Dodger Stadium. Here's the deal. It was his longtime girlfriend, Maria, and he wrote her, he kept a ticket from last night's game at Dodger Stadium, presented it to Maria, and he inscribed the following message in Spanish. For the rest of my life, I hope you never forget this incredibly special day for us. It began with a wedding ceremony, ended with him making the grand slam. Braves 8-7 victory over the Dodgers. And by the way, they're talking about how Freddie Freeman, when he hit the ball, Freddie Freeman kind of turned and went, no, I'm not even going to look. It was just, it was one of those things where you take one step and say, that's a ball game. But here's more about this. With Acuña's wife and their two sons, 2-year-old Ronald Daniel and 11-month-old Jamal, they watched from the section 108. He said in Spanish, we're a family. Since we've known each other, we've waited and wanted to be together. We have 2 kids. Families meant to be together. That comes before anything else. I'm really happy that's what's happening right now. They met 4 years ago, got engaged in January, but under the terms of her visa from Venezuela, Maria had to leave the United States by the end of the week and would not be allowed to come back for another 3 months. If she did, that would keep her and the children away for what may be the World Series championship, MVP stuff like that. She would have to miss it if she had to leave by the end of the week. Acuña says, I'm not going without them. I'm not having all this experience without my family. Within 24 hours, a venue, Whispering Oaks and Agora Hills, was booked. There was an officiant found. There was a full-fledged ceremony taking place. They flew the family to L.A. on Wednesday afternoon. Acuña arrived at the team hotel early in the 2 o'clock in the morning, got up 5 hours later, drove to tie the knot. Initially supposed to take place at their native Venezuela over the winter. The kids were born here. Mom needs to come and go. I don't like the process. It's really a hassle. If we go to the playoffs, we go to the World Series, they're not going to be with me. It was tough. I want my family to be with me. And by the way, his grand slam off the right-hander Lance Lynn of the Dodgers, second inning, also the 150th homer of Acuña's career, the second player in Major League history to record 150 homers and 150 steals at age 25 or younger. Only one other guy's done it, Mike Trout. Barry Bonds and Eric Davis had 30 homers and 50 steals, but until Acuña, nobody ever had 30 homers and 60 steals. He did it on the last day of August. What a story. I mean, what a story. I mean, can you imagine trying to save his family to be here for what's going on with the end of the rest of the season? So they rush and get everything done in no time at all, a couple of days, and he marries his sweet bride, leaves a sweet message on the ticket, and hits a freaking grand slam. I mean, holy cow. When I was going to Vietnam, we got married on 6 days' notice. Called everybody, got a place, got the priest, and had 250 people at a sit-down wedding in 6 days' notice because they knew where I was going, and it all happened together. But again, you do what you can. What a story. I'm so happy for him and her and them. What a great story. Anyway, 327. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. I guess we should do probably a serious thing here for a second. 327.
Lots of serious stuff.
What's that?
Lots of serious stuff.
Some stuff. Again, I'm getting ticked off about President Crime Family, that scumbag in the White House. In 3 o'clock news, he was yelling at us again. And so, I've given you the best economy in the history of the country. He actually says stuff like that. What a disgrace. How much you paying for gas? Is your salary match? What was gas a couple of years ago? $2? I mean, come on, you're killing me. It's unfreaking believable. And then we find out, we know he's tight. We know he's been lying for decades about business with his son and using his name to get money. He now has been another pseudonym to talk about hiring people at the White House based on what Hunter wants. Have you heard about this? Excuse me. 2014, Hunter emailed Robin Ware, that's President Pants on Fire, Robin emailed his father from his company email, Rosemont Seneca Partners. Quote, before you fill this position, it was about a job opening at the White House. Before you fill this position, please talk to me. Jay McGrail very much wants to serve as detail for the Treasury. A few minutes later, the email account Robin Ware wrote back, R.E. Johnny, call me right away, Dad. Of course, Robin Ware is one of the pseudonyms that President Scumbag uses during his vice presidency to talk about cheating and money matters and cheating with the government and lying to the American people with his son, who he just tried to be a good dad. Kind of an enabler. Just got to be a good dad. Well, now this John McGrail guy was serving as senior counsel of the U.S. Treasury at the time, and guess what? Son of a gun, he got the job 2 months. Oh, yeah. So Hunter told his dad, hey, give the job to my buddy with Seneca Partners. Let's do the link there. Dad said, okay, and hired him. And guess what? Today, this guy McGrail is still working at the Treasury as counselor to the Undersecretary for Domestic Finance. And they're not responding to requests to explain what the hell they think they're trying to pull on the American people. This is just one of another pseudonym emails scandal caught red-handed. Thank you. 3:30. You see in a minute or two, probably. Look out. Route 66, where they had the little tiny old Corvette, the two-seater, and somehow always had clothes and luggage and, and all the supplies they ever needed, traveling town to town on Route 66, which I guess has been pretty much disbanded now. And I passed a couple opportunities to take a ride with some of my cop buddies and motorcycle buddies to take a Harley ride on Route 66, start from where it starts, basically near Chicago, and go all the way to, I think it's Santa Monica or something. And part of it's all gone now, so you have to kind of bypass through Kansas or someplace. But anyway.
So what's the longest stretch without a gas station or
you can do it. There you have to kind of bypass because all those places now are shut down and they're just tumbleweeds and the gas stations and towns are gone. But you can do it. You have to. Sorry.
I bet you could go 200-300 miles without seeing anything.
Well, my Harley, my Copsicle had, I think it was a 5-gallon tank, and if you get 40 miles a gallon, you go cut me. If I was on the Harley, if it got to a third, I stopped and got gas wherever I was going. But normally, if you can go a couple of hundred miles, you can almost always find a place. But again, you got to plan for it when you're doing that stuff like that.
Not with an electric car.
Yeah, right. Then you'd be able to wait 10 hours to charge it up again. Anyway, and one quick history note, then I do actual stuff here. By the way, I got a lot of weird stories. I want to talk about that parking lot thing too. I'm just getting a tingle out of it. 1980. God, hold on a minute. I can't read my own freaking writing here. 1985. American and French teams locate the wreck of the RMS Titanic, the British ocean liner that sank in 1912, killing Leonardo DiCaprio and 1,530 other people. 13 other people. It was 400 miles east of Newfoundland in the North Atlantic. And what a great movie. I think it was probably fairly accurate, although except for that whole thing of the ocean thing there with the star of whatever. Anyway, that's a good. Okay, here's the number. It's 3:40 in the afternoon. It's Friday. Let her rip. It's Labor Day weekend. If you have any Labor Day weekend stories, have you got any plans? Are you doing anything to celebrate with family? Do you have anything in fact, if you have anything we can help you with to set things up, give us a call. If you just want to chat or whatever, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Let's see. Oh, by the way, speaking of migraines, earlier this morning, Pete was at the doctor, and the story came over TikTok where a woman was sharing what she says is the technique that helped her get rid of her migraines in 4 minutes. She's a business coach from Miami named Andrea Eder, or Eder, don't know, E-D-E-R. And she posted a video in the midst of a migraine. She showed herself with her feet in a bucket and then pouring very hot water over her feet. She said, I just learned if you get a migraine, you want to get rid of it fast, what you got to do is get hot water as hot as you can handle, soak your feet in it. She said she suffered from migraines for a long time, searching for simple tricks. She saw other people talking about submerging their feet in hot water, tried it. She said, 4 minutes ago, my eyes were shaking. I couldn't see straight. I was already trying to look for the bed so I could lay down and close all the blinds. The fact that the screen is not shaking right now, it's only been 4 minutes. I'm forever grateful to the human beings who have shared this on TikTok because I think you just saved my life. Well, there's no scientific evidence that hot water anywhere helps migraines, although this is they say if you now I've never done acupuncture. I've never done it. I've as a news person I've talked about it, but they say that the bottoms of your feet for the people who do that kind of stuff are a treasure trove of nerve endings to do various things. And I remember many years ago, and I tried this, and it actually seemed to work. If you have a cold, or you feel like you're getting a cold or getting a flu, you're really feeling that whole head and the sinus and all that kind of stuff, and fever, stuff like that. If you put Vicks Vapor Rub in a pair of heavy, thick socks, and put your feet in the Vicks Vapor Rub in the bottom of your foot in those socks and go to bed, you have a much better chance of feeling pretty good in the morning. And again, there's some kind of nerve. I guess I'm sure an acupuncture guy or a chiropractor guy will know all about this because they're involved with a lot of that stuff. So again, maybe it works. I don't know, but again, it didn't work for Pete. In fact, Flounder, I think you text him back that Pete has sent this, and I
asked him if it worked, and he said nope.
No, it didn't work. So Pete's not with us, and I hope he's resting or sleeping or whatever. But again, it's got to be a nightmare. God forbid it happens while you're driving your car. What do you do? Or if on a date.
Cancel the date, pull over the car.
Gee,
end the date.
And I guess it comes on. I don't know how much warning you get. but it's not. Anyway. What's three? Oh hell, let's do it. Let's do a comedy. Let's do it, and then I'll talk about the Podium Princess and the Fulton Judge. The Trump trial is going to be aired on TV. Holy cow! The doctor faking the McConnell thing. The UFOs at the Pentagon. I don't believe it. They're still hiding it. You'll never get the truth. Also, you're going to hear Riley Gaines taking Keith Olbermann to the woodshed. All that stuff's coming up. First, founder. Let's do a little. This is Lily Tomlin, who is 85 today. I think I said, and is it 80, 84? 84 today. Famous as Ernestine, the telephone operator.
This is her calling Russia.
Okay.
One ringy dingy. Two ringy dingies. A gracious good afternoon. Have I reached the party to whom I am speaking?
I'll see.
Is this Premier Alexei Kosygin of the USSR? Good. This is Miss Ernestine Tomlin of the AT&T.
She snorts. Listen to her snort.
No, we're much bigger than that. The telephone company. Yes, and we just want to be sure that the line from the White House to the Kremlin is working. What? Yes, I do. I do know quite a bit about Russia. What do I think of Lenin and Marx? Well, John Lennon's a little dull, but Groucho's hysterical. Hello?
Anyway, and she would snort like that in most of her bits. There was one in the background I think I was talking over. Anyway, Lily Tomlin's 84 today, and so we'll be playing a couple of her bits. All right, it's 3:45, and we got to talk about girls in cowboy boots, and we'll talk about the Pentagon and the UFOs, and Keith Olbermann getting a riot read to him, and that disgraceful Navy Admiral man dressing like a freaking fake girl, so-called Rachel Levine, is at it again, and they're trying to protect him. Plus, God bless the football coach is getting his money and his reputation back. 4:15 with a Kimmer and Pete sleeping at Flounder. Look out, here we go. cuts both ways. Here we are coming out of the dark. Conga, Bad Boy, Rhythm is going to get you. Gloria Estefan. Didn't she almost get killed in that boat wreck many years ago?
It was
her
a bus
boat?
accident.
It was a truck. I thought it was a boating thing. Didn't she like run over somebody maybe then? I forgot. Anyway, didn't she break her back or something? Or
yes.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, Gloria's 66, doing great. I've always liked her stuff. And how about a historical note? On this day, 1939, there was no declaration of war, but suddenly Hitler sends 1.5 million Kraut soldiers into Poland. Can you imagine waking up, a little farmer on the border and say, honey, we're going to need more milk. I said, jeez, 1.5 million Kraut soldiers go into Poland and send the Luftwaffe to bomb all the Polish airfields. Great Britain and France sent Hitler a message, oh, no, you don't, get out of there or we're at war. Well, he didn't get out, so they went to war. France and Britain declared war when he said, screw you, and took over Poland. In 1939, and that was the beginning of the ball game. Let's see. All right, I've got so many things I'm going to get to. And again, Pete Davis had a migraine all morning. It was migraine all morning. It was at the... All right, I'm going to start slowing down. He had a migraine all morning, and it was at the doctor's office all morning. And I guess I don't know whether he's. I hope he's okay. I'm not. I don't want to text him, but I'm. If he. So we hope. Anyway, it's a migraine. He's been going through this since I've known him, but it's rare. It's rare. But when it happens, it can be a brutal. And he texted. I think he said, "Didn't he text this the worst one he's ever had, or something like that? Maybe. Hope not. Anyway, okay. A couple quick newsy things. Then we're going to go play again for a while here on some personal stuff. I want to talk about Olbermann, this idiot, and Riley Gaines. You'll hear her in a second. First of all, President Pants on Fire. I hate this man. I hate their enablers. I hate what they're doing to this country. Every time he screams at us, it's like he's such a big, great guy taking care of all the people and getting the economy in such great shape and everything. Well, he was at the podium talking about what a wonderful guy he is. Finally, reporters are starting to ask him some of the tough questions. Louder.
President Biden, Speaker McCarthy, will you give your bank records to Congress as Speaker McCarthy requests?
Let's talk about why I'm here.
Will you give your bank records as Speaker McCarthy requests?
Yeah, they were trying to ask him about his bank records and all that kind of stuff, and he said, let's talk about something important. By the way, I'm looking at headlines on Fox News as we go through today. More and more people are now finally saying, okay, we need to have an inquiry for impeachment. If they elect them, if the House elects to have an inquiry, it opens up a whole new avenue of finding out information. And I'm trying to monitor and find out. But again, they're talking about it more. Once they do it, everything's going to change. Okay, a couple other things here.
The problem is when are they going to do it?
Well,
I mean, what more
again,
do they need?
You're going to have somebody in the Senate make the difference on the Democrat side, or the guys like Manchin or Sinema from Arizona. Somebody's going to have to say, okay,
both are actually contemplating becoming independent.
Yeah. So again, they're going to have to either abstain or say, okay, well, let's go along with this for a while or something. But I think the House, by just voting in the House, and they have the votes to do it, unless Kevin McCarthy, unless he screwed up again. I mean, I think a lot of them are hesitant, and even Republicans are hesitant. Although I think the headlines I'm seeing indicate that more and more of the hesitant Republicans are now saying, okay, we're getting closer and closer. We have to do it. Again, this is just one more thing. Another thing today in the news. He used another synonym to help his son get a job for a buddy at his son's business.
That's the second.
What more do you need? I mean, it's right there. I can see it. And they gave him the job. I mean, for God's sake, if this had been Donald Trump and Don Jr., you don't think that the liberal media would just go
and
crazy?
Peter Doocy asked KJP last week about quid pro quo.
It's just unbelievable. And she says, I can't talk about that from here. Why not? You're inviting a guy named Joe Biden. That's the guy you're representing. You're the exact person to be talking about it, you little stinking liar. And by the way, speaking of her, she's being mocked once again, and thank goodness, as should be. She's the worst example. KG, Vagine, the Podium Princess, Shirley Temple. She's black, she's gay, she's a girl. She was asked about the immigration policies of President Pants on Fire because everybody hates it. Even Kathy, the governor of New York, the mayor of New York City, people are going crazy about all these immigrants showing up. Anyway, so they asked her about the Podium Princess about the president's immigration policies. She said, look, the president's done what he can from here, from the federal government, from the White House, to put forth and manage our border in a safe and humane way to respect the dignity of every human, as he says all the time, and making sure that our communities are safe, and you have seen him do that. Well, first, that's bourgeois. But then she goes even worse. Quote, the president has done more to secure the border and to deal with this issue of immigration than anybody else. He really has.
The president has done more to secure the border and to deal with this issue of immigration than anybody else.
June saw a big drop in month-to-month illegal border crossings. There shouldn't be any illegal border crossing. All they've done is allow 5 million people to come in by saying, well, now that we call them refugees now instead of illegal immigrants. The reaction's unbelievable. Same woman says Biden is so energetic and busy that she struggles to keep up with him. So it's this kind of brazen gaslighting is her thing. She should get the Gaslight Award of 2023. Miranda Devine at the New York Post. Fact check, since President Biden took office, 6.9 million illegal aliens have been encountered at America's border, and that doesn't include the number of people who got away. They have no idea how to handle this. For her and this admin on the administration on all this, she gets up and says that, and the people in blue states are screaming about migration. In fact, I've got a couple of stories about that. What's happening in New York, and they're just going absolutely crazy. Anyway,
because they're going to start putting them up in hotels and places like that where people are paying good money to stay there. You're going to have homeless people staying for free.
We'll talk about a guy who says this will be the end of the hotel industry in Los Angeles and California as we know it. They're going to be putting them in hotels next to paying guests. It's not like they're going to, the government's going to take the hotel over and take care of all of them in there like a shelter. That's one thing. But when they're going to put them next to you that you paid $600 a night, and all of a sudden anyway, this is incredible. 357. Let's do this. Can we do the Riley Gaines? Have we got time for the Riley Gaines thing? Keith Olbermann and Riley Gaines, in kind of a spend. He's such an idiot. Former MSNBC and ESPN guy. In a war of words, Olbermann took a jab at the former college swimmer, who's now a representative of Let's Men Be Men and Girls Be Girls. He called Riley Gaines a homophobe for her fight to keep transgender women out of the female sports area, and called her a loser and a second place swimmer, stuff like that. Well, here's what she posted herself in video doing and saying this.
All right, Keith, as I was getting my All-SEC first team honors down to show you, I dropped it and I broke it, which would be really unfortunate if I didn't have more of those, but lucky for me I do. So let's go through it.
He kept calling her a loser.
SEC title, second in the country. This is my SEC Community Service Leader of the Year award, which actually got me a lot of money. Oh, another SEC title, an NCAA trophy. Oh, look, SEC Scholar Athlete of the Year. Believe it or not, I'm pretty smart. Another SEC title, another NCAA trophy. Oh, that's when we won an SEC championship as a team. Some more SEC honors. Oh, look, another one. That's when I broke the 200 butterfly record, the SEC record, which I still hold, making me one of the fastest Americans of all time. And so, Keith, I would be really sad if I broke this trying to prove a point to an old man who can't even seem to keep a job. But I've got more of these, so I'm not. Thanks, Keith.
I mean,
I'd like to report a murder.
It started when Olbermann replied to one of her posts on X or Twitter, which she said that he said she should address the reality that she sucked at swimming. And that's why she lost to Leah Thomas, the transgender swimmer who was crowned a Division I champion. Makes sense now why you got fired from ESPN, she shot back. One of her teammates said, your political bias blinds you, and dismissive views like yours embolden men to change in front of us. Why don't you address the reality that women's spaces are being invaded and many women are harmed by this narrative? I mean, this whole thing is ridiculous. And she stands up for, where are the American women? We keep saying, where are you? How is this even why aren't the American women doxing Keith Olbermann, standing on front of his house with signs and burning torches at 2 a.m? I mean, this has got to stop. Give our girls back to us. Stop taking away our women. We want them. We need them. Well, I need 4 o'clock. Sorry, 4 o'clock. Everything's good. Everything's good. Yeah, I like this song. There you go. I like Tina Turner. Poor thing, passed away. 403. Let's play a little Tina with the Kimmer. Pete and Flounder. Pete's got a migraine, so he's comatose right now, hopefully. Notice how I back-timed that right up to her first word. It was on this day, 1984. After 25 years, Tina Turner finally had her first solo #1 single. That's hard to believe. 25 years and got to #1 with What's Love Got to Do with It. Here we go. This is a great song. The song was originally written for Cliff Richard. Now, who's Cliff Richard? You have an idea who that is?
No idea.
Well, this is amazing. 1984, so it was originally written for Cliff Richard. You know, the name's familiar, and I don't know why. Of course, it might have been written for him 30 years before that. I mean, it doesn't say what year it was written. Anyway, she 25 years, Tina Turner. The song was rejected by this Cliff Richard guy, then offered to Donna Summer, who said she sat with it for a couple of years and never recorded it. So obviously it was written sometime before, like 1980, sometime or it could have been written in the 40s for all I know. Anyway, great song. What's love got to do with it? Tina Turner, the late Tina Turner. A quick birthday or two. Let's see. Billy Blanks. Do you know who that is? Billy Blanks is 68 today. He invented Tybo. Remember Tybo? Remember that was a huge video thing where it would be it's like a kicking, jumping exercise plan with this guy doing
Tybo?
Yeah, Tybo. Taebo. Google that and check it out. And this guy Billy Blanks invented it, and I remember it was all over TV.
Oh, I remember that.
Remember
that?
that?
That's when there was like workout videos.
Yeah, it was workouts. Yeah, and it was
now everything's
up and
app-based.
step and up and step. Tybo, but it worked. I mean, anything works if you exercise, so you sweat and move your joints in various angles. You're going. That's a workout. That's it. I mean, I think my father used to do something like 50 push-ups every morning until he died at 89. Well, almost not quite, but I mean, just and you do push-ups and sit-ups and jumping jacks and a couple of deep knee bends, and you're going to be in shape. Walking's the best thing if you do it for a while. But again, I don't know. God, I can't believe I used to run for 2 hours a day, 12 miles a day. What was I running from? Anyway, Billy Blanks. Did I mention it? Billy Blanks? Okay.
Pete's joining us.
Well, hey, Pete, how's it going, man? How you feeling?
It's not a tumor.
Well, so what's the deal, man? How are you?
Actually, I don't know if it is a tumor. I don't know. It's the worst migraine I have ever had.
Well, what happens when it happens? What were you doing, and what happens actually? Can you talk about it, or is that bad?
Usually you get the little foggy, fuzzy, oily eye vision, and that's a warning, here it comes. So you need to take some Advil or whatever you take for it, and you can, head it off. Well, this time last night I was just sitting there watching TV, and I just started getting a dull ache. And I was like, well, we skipped the entire, blurry vivid part of this.
Yeah.
It went right to the headache, and it just got worse and worse and worse, and it lasted all night and into this morning, and I finally said, I can't take this anymore. And it's not pounding, it's just constant.
Is it like a pressure, or is it a sharp pain, or what?
It's both. Which is weird, because it's like somebody took a whole bunch of, it just blows up a balloon behind your nose, between your eyes, like someone's blowing a balloon up in there. And then it got to the point where it was a shooting pain on my left side. I said, well, that's a news. So I went in there. And basically what they did, they gave me something called Nurtec, which has helped a little bit. But I'm still kind of nauseous, which I usually don't get either. And they tested me for COVID because they said everybody's coming in with headaches, but I don't have the China virus, the Fauci virus, or whatever they're calling it.
Yeah, there you go. We should start calling it the Fauci virus.
It's the Fauci virus. I didn't say it when I was in there, by the way.
No, you wouldn't want to,
And there's signs everywhere. So you need to wear the mask, but half the people in there were not wearing the mask.
Yeah.
But the funny thing, we're sitting there, and she goes, "Well, why are you waiting? You know, you want us to like clean your ears or something?" And I was like, "Gosh, I haven't had my ears cleaned in years, so sure."
Have a ball.
Oh my God, I can't hear anything.
You can't hear anything?
No, because they pump so much peroxide?
Hydrogen peroxide.
Oh my gosh, the right one just cleared up.
And it bubbles.
Okay.
Yeah, it bubbles.
Yeah.
I've had that happen. I've had that before, and it bubbles and foams.
It tickles. Yeah,
that's funny.
But the right one just popped. So yeah, I can hear on my right one now.
Oh, outstanding.
In fact, the doctor, as I was leaving, she goes, "You're leaving worse than you came in. Now you can't even hear."
Wow. Now, and there's still no cause that anybody knows, right? As far as you know,
no idea whether it's Mexican food, whether I was watching something too close on my
Is there
phone.
anything in every time you've had it, is there any common denominator? Have you tried to figure out time of day, or whether you were mad or happy or depressed or excited, or you just, got drawn? I mean, is there any link of any kind that was compatible with the rest of them?
The only link I could ever come up with is the fact that when I raised salamanders, constantly, every time I handled one, I'm just kidding. No, I don't even know whether or not anymore. For God's sakes, man! It used to be ginger ale could trigger it, or beans could trigger it.
Really?
But I haven't had beans or ginger ale in months, or weeks, I guess.
Well, with you being in the Macon or the mountains of Macon now, how long is the commute to the doctor?
Oh, it was like 15 minutes. Of course, I got behind the obligatory Florida license plate going 20 miles below the speed limit.
Frogheads, yeah, we call them frogheads down in Florida.
Oh my gosh, Subarus in Floridians. Oh
mercy. Well, and so how are you feeling? Are you nauseous? Are you dizzy? Are you laying down? Or at this moment, how are you feeling?
I'm in the dark. I'm a little nauseous, and I still have the headache, but it's not as bad as it was. This Nurtec thing seems to help a little bit. Yeah. So we're gonna stick with that, and this.
Take it. I mean, go to sleep. Don't. We're good. We're off at 5:30. We got another hour and 10 minutes to goof around here, and I want to talk about. Well, if you can you last another couple of minutes?
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, let's do that. And ladies and gentlemen, a couple things happened. In fact, I haven't talked about my Publix thing in the parking lot yet, have I? I haven't done it. Oh, my God. Okay, last night, we got off this show. Pete and I were in the studio together, and I left before Pete did. And so I go out the door, and I walk out the door, and all of a sudden, boom, I take a look. Oh, my God. Everywhere I looked, there were young girls in tiny skirts and cowboy boots. So I take my phone out, and I didn't want it, oogling things, so I took kind of a long shot of about 10 or 15 of them across the street, and then some more were coming right by me on the sidewalk, just right outside the studio at the battery. And so this cutest little sweet little girl is all giggly. She says, "Oh, you're a Marine," and my brother, and I'm going, yeah. So I'm taping her on my phone and stuff, and her friends are there, and we're talking. She's all giggly and happy, and they're going to the country western concert, and so I just taped it and put it on the phone. When I stopped taping, I walked another 10 feet and then around kind of a barrier, and there must have been 1,000 of these. I mean, 1,000 of these. I saw maybe 4 guys, and they were all young girls, looked about 15, and every pair of them was wearing little teeny short shorts or little teeny mini skirts and cowboy boots. I mean, it was. Honest to God, there must have been 1,000 of them all lined up, and I was going to take do a moving video on my phone, and then I thought, oh, that's a little creepy, because I mean that would be a little kinky for me to do that, so I was afraid to do it. But you really should have seen. I should have done it because it was really astounding, the vision. I've never seen something like. I mean, I've never seen like 1,000 young girls in cowboy boots and little skirts lined up for a country western concert. Anyway, so I was afraid to take the video. So my point is, I get to my car. I go up to the 4th floor. I'm in my car. My phone rings. It's Pete. He says, "Are you watching these young girls?"
Now, first of all, they weren't 15. They were a little older than 15.
Well, I know, but it was the one who came up to me and said, "Oh, my brother's a Marine," and she was so cute, and she had her baby fat, and she was sweet and happy, and I just wanted to hug her. She reminded me of the kids. I mean, just being happy and sweet summertime. It was the sweetest thing, and they're just dance around in those cowboy boots, and it was just the coolest thing.
I was surprised I didn't see you still standing amidst them.
Well, again, I've thought about it because I would have been great to interview them. I did that once before with another kind of concert where they're all hard rockers and stuff, and it would have been fun. fun for me to do it and just send to my kids, you know, and my grandkids and stuff like that. And then I felt, well, geez, you know, I didn't want to seem as though I was oogling the young little cowboy boot girls, you know what I mean? And so I didn't do it. Next time I'm going to do it. I should never second guess myself, damn it. I should have done it because it was really pretty. I've never seen a vision like that. And again, I admit, they were gorgeous. I mean, they were just beautiful and happy and smiling, and I wished I were 25 again. 4:13. We got stuff with a Kimmer, Pete and Flounder here on 106.3. Happy Friday. Look out. and deciding about the chess world. It's really a good movie. Searching for Bobby Fischer, I think, or something like that. And the story about Bobby Fischer may have just been called Bobby Fischer. I don't know. It's about the actual bio of Bobby Fischer. But anyway, this day he actually won the damn thing in 1972. So that's a scoop on that. By the way, Pete, now, did you hear any of the earlier part of the program?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I barely hear now.
Okay. Well, I mean, and again, tune out. Please, we're good. We got an hour to go. I mean, and I'm going to just...
We have to talk about Acuña.
Well, I did at the beginning of the show. In fact, I started weeping because I was talking about, I read his marriage thing, the ticket he wrote on with his wife. In fact, let's do that right now. Flounder, if you would, let's get the sound going back again. And Pete, I did the story right at the beginning of the show. So if they haven't heard it, then they're going to enjoy hearing it now. I thought this was an amazing story about what Ronald Acuña did and what they did all in one day. Anyway, Pete, take it away, and we have sound ready when you want.
Well, basically, I'm doing it for my notes here. I haven't been able to read anything today. They got married to his longtime girlfriend. They have a couple children together.
Maria, yeah.
It was beautiful. They were dressed, and I don't know if they were on the beach or anything. It was a beautiful sunny day out in Los Angeles, and they decided to get married. And then later on, he set a historic record, the first man to ever get 30 home runs and 60 stolen bases ever. Yeah. And, of course, you had the trolls on social media going, well, this is just a made-up club. And everyone's going, yeah, he made it up himself.
Yeah,
He's
right.
Yeah,
member of one.
Yeah.
One of one, please. Anyway, here's the sound of what was going on last night.
2-2 pitch on the way. He strikes one well to left field. Back to the wall. Screaming through the night. It's a grand slam. And Acuña doing MVP things here in the top of the second inning.
And Ingram there with the call.
Yeah, what an amazing story. And I'd mentioned that he kept the ticket from the game and wrote on it in Spanish to Maria, for the rest of my life, I hope you never forget this incredibly special day for us. They had to get married, or wanted to, but before the end of the week, because her visa from Venezuela said she had to get out of the country for 3 months, which would put her past the postseason and maybe the MVP champ, stuff like that. So he didn't want to have her and the kids gone for 3 months. So they said, we're getting married this week because this is the end of the week. So they had no time.
Well, we had a caller call in earlier before. So you have 2 kids together, right?
Yeah.
So
and they're American kids.
So why didn't they get married 2 years ago?
Well, it's nobody's business.
Yeah,
why
they didn't, and who knows, and who cares? And maybe the I don't know. Maybe they want. Oh, I know why. Because I think they wanted to get married in Venezuela. And because of his baseball schedule and stuff, they kept saying, well, we can't do it traveling back. And her visas, I mean, I think there was an issue. So tell Mr. Snotty Snick Snack to, keep your own freaking naysaying there, dirtbag.
It was,
what the hell, huh? It's probably Sophia. Yeah, we haven't had a chance to check YouTube, because Flounder's running around in there because he can't answer the phone in one part of the studio and then race back to the mic for the other part of it. Anyway, so and by the way, as we mentioned earlier, also Freddie Freeman kind of, when he hit the ball, Freddie went, oh, God. He said, no, I'm not even going to look. It was just,
I always look at the dead cadavers that sit behind the home plate there. Mary Hart and the rest of the 80-year-olds there. And the looks on their faces was like,
oh boy.
And the amazing MVP race. You got Ronald Acuña hitting a hard smash past Mookie Betts in the first inning.
And then
you have Mookie coming up, and I think did he walk or get a hit to start off the bottom of the first? He later scored.
Yeah.
So then he scored. Okay, we're kind of even here. Now Mookie's ahead because he scored. And then Ronald comes up in the second inning, hits a grand slam to put the Braves ahead. And then Mookie Betts comes up later and hits a home run that Ronald almost catches. He almost robbed him of a 3-run homer. How cool would that have been?
That would have been unbelievable.
So Betts gets that, and then later on, Betts gets a 1-run home run. And here's that, which brings up the question: why the hell are you pitching to him?
Yeah.
They have 2 batters.
Yeah.
They have Freddie and they got Mookie. The rest of them are so to good.
Yeah.
They're not great like those 2. Quit pitching to those 2, especially Mookie. Quit pitching to that sucker. Quit giving him pitches to hit. That just stood out to me.
Yeah.
And another thing, Jeff Frank Kerr, love Jeff Frank Kerr. He's doing a great job, right?
Yeah, I love it.
Parkview grab. He has got to stop jinxing Strider.
Well,
did you hear what he did?
No, I did. You can't believe it. All right, go ahead. It's like the cover of Sports Illustrated, right? What happened?
A few weeks ago, they're in Pittsburgh, and he starts out striking everybody out. And Frank Kerr says something like, "Gosh, you could strike out 15 in this game." Oh. He didn't get another out. Okay,
yank.
So last night, I'm watching the game, and Brandon Gaudin and Jeff are there, and they're talking about Strider. And Strider did KO the side twice and everything. Oh. At one point, Frank Kerr in the 5th inning says, "Well, it's going to be really tough for the Dodgers to score 6 runs the way Strider's going." I swear, within 2 seconds, base hit, walk, 3-run homer by Mookie Betts. And then later on, when A.J. Minter came in, Frank Kerr says, "Oh, he struggled at first, but he's righted himself the last 2 months, and he's really been outstanding." Bam!
Oh, yeah, there it goes.
Home run. It's like, quit talking about the pitchers.
Oh, Lord. I freaking love it.
And Mary Hart left in the 8th inning. Let me tell you, she's such a Dodger fan. She left before they had a chance to win it at the end.
Oh, boy. Well...
Yeah.
No, I don't. I haven't seen a guy from Mary Hart with her sexy legs and America's Miss what you call show Entertainment Tonight. Yeah, with the guy who played the piano, with big blonde guy who had nothing to say except milk toast.
John Tesh. If you wait to the end of Dodgers games, it happened 3 times last night. Remember we talked about the U.S. Open, the girl standing up wearing almost nothing, getting on camera?
Yeah.
There were 2 bimbos walking around doing stretching and bending over and standing up when the pitch was coming and running back and forth in front of the front row. In fact, Mary Hart looks like, who are they? And jumping around, wanting to be seen. They're little starlets wanting to be seen. Yeah.
TikTok influencers, I'll bet you. Oh, my God.
I enjoyed every second of it, by the way. Keep watching.
Nothing wrong with that. Oh, mercy. Let's see. What was that? Oh, by the way, for the record, our sandwich, we had Pete brought in the the pimento, honey, whatever it's got, the freaking Chick-fil-A sandwich. Pimento and honey peppers thing, Chick-fil-A. And I mentioned I was saying, but I also mentioned to you later in this show, like 5 o'clock, I was saying, my stomach's on it. I'm really not like a pepper kind of a guy and a thing. Well, man, I definitely had a lot of indigestion, let's say, for much of the night last night, just for the record. So if you're not normally a pepper guy, take them out. The rest of the sandwich was delicious. The pimento cheese spread on the honey baked chicken thing for Chick-fil-A. But anyway, for the record, I did have some a little distress. Let's see before I forget the thing. And by the way, also I did. So in fact, last night I only had mashed potatoes for dinner. I said this is all I could handle. I was afraid I was going to do something stupid. But I did have 2 ice cream cones. Have you had those new butter cookie cone ice cream cones? They're new in the ice cream section.
I have not.
I forgot who they're, but I think they're Haagen-Dazs, I believe, which is not from Denmark or whatever. Anyway, and they're those small ice cream cones, and they have little like shaving stuff on the top. But the cone is not your typical ice cream cone. It's a butter cookie in a cone shape, but it's actually, if you were to take it off and eat it, would be it tastes like a butter cookie. And in the bottom of it, it's got some chocolate. Anyway, so I had 2 of those. So I had mashed potatoes and 2 butter cone cookies to try to settle my stomach. So I may try that again tonight. It was pretty...
I can tell you what, Trader Joe's has little cones I used to get that does have the chocolate in the bottom.
Yeah, and they're little, so you don't have to, to feel like you're doing something bad. Anyway, I've got to talk about the Publix parking lot. I don't know how long, Pete, you can hang on. We'll also, we got a billion things here. The Pentagon UFOs, Trump trial's going to be live. Rachel Levine's another disgrace, a football coach. Elon Musk says his transgender daughter's a communist, and they are not talking. The Virginia mom got caught with 2 twin teenage boys by her husband. Coming up on 4:30 with a Kimmer and Pete for a while at least at Flounder. Let her rip Friday. There you go. I love this song. Fleetwood Mac. Dun, 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 dun. Your own way. We're going to play this for a minute. Here's my favorite part. You my world. Fleetwood Mac on this day, 1980. I love this song. Waiting for you. They were on the road for 9 months. Hey. And they went their own way at the Hollywood Bowl. Lindsey Buckingham announced on stage, "This is our last show for a long time." 1980, Fleetwood Mac. This song second only to "I Don't Want to Know." I played that since I had Flounder. I asked politely to have Flounder put that on my Music Magic stick. I play that, the last song I play, coming into the parking garage to work every day. And it's the first song I play when I leave here and I get to the car. I usually turn on the night guy, not Clay Travis, the night guy, Jesse Kelly. So I listen to him and I start the garage. And when I leave the garage, I turn on "I Don't Want to Know" by Fleetwood Mac, and then I just enjoy myself. It's really amazing. I'm really finding ways to to just get a thing going with my head. Anyway, on this day for birthdays that we have here. I mentioned Lily Tomlin's 84. We're going to play another one of her comedy bits here in a minute. We didn't play one this hour, right? Just one so far, right?
Just one.
Okay. She's 84. Also, Barry Gibb, the last Bee Gee standing, is 77 today. Boy, they had a bunch of hits. "You Should Be Dancing," "How Can You Mend a Broken Heart," "How Deep Is Your Love," "More Than a Woman," "Jive Talkin'," "Staying Alive," Massachusetts, and all those guys. They had the worst teeth. They had Kennedy teeth. Horrible teeth, those people. Sorry to say it, but it's true. Let's see. 21 years ago, 2002, on this very day, Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr. said, "I do," and were married. Today is their 21st wedding anniversary. Oh, I said wedding. I said marriage. Oh, sorry. That was for Pete. I don't know if he's even still with us. I don't think he is.
I'm about to leave. You keep doing that.
That was kind of an inside thing. Anyway, again, Pete's with us. Pete has a horrible head thing. What do you call it? The migraine.
We'll call it migraine.
Migraine. Sorry,
Horrible head.
Horrible head. Anyway, so bail out when you need to. I'm sorry. Really, when you need to go, just go. Don't worry about it. Cause we're good. We got it 40 minutes ago or something. And Flounder's here, of course, so we're in good shape. We're going to play some stuff.
Well, tell everybody we're going early because of the Georgia Tech game, we're not here Monday.
And we're off on Monday. Oh, by the way, Flounder, I forgot to do promos. You want to do them live? We'll just put the record on. We'll do them now.
No, I already got everything squared away. We're good to go.
Because I can do them. Hey, it's the Kipper with Pete and Flounder. We're not here right now, but we'll be back. It's Labor Day, and I can do a thing like that if you want.
I already got everything taken care of.
I think he's told me twice now.
In other words, we're not coming back.
We're not coming back. Oh, by the way, speaking of Mr. Phone, check this out. Today, this was so cute. Before we go on the show, I'm in. We're two studios separated by the glass panel thing here, and so I keep going back and forth and talking to Flounder. So right before the show, literally right before the show starts, and one last thing, I was going in to make sure we have the sound for the so-and-so or whatever, and so I open the door between the two studios, and Flounder's, kind of quietly on his cell phone, and he says, okay. All right. All right, I'll talk to you later. And so I said, I love you, sweetie, my angel. I can't wait to be with you. I want to be with you right now. And he said, I said, tell her, come on. Cyrano de Bergerac, man. Tell her, just say the words. Use your words. And he said, oh, shut up, Joseph. And I don't know whether I assume she could probably hear me in the background.
Yes, she could.
She could. And what's her reaction there, Mr. Grumpy Pants?
She said, hello, Kimmer.
I just stay the hell out of it. I'm really no help to Flounder at all. I love you, Ben, my living angel. Yeah, that'll work. Poopsie, poopsie. Oh, God. Anyway, was it Cyrano de Bergerac? What was wasn't that the guy?
Yeah, that was it.
And from down below when they would yell up to the guy to tell him what to say.
And Roxanne, the Steve Martin movie, was
that was a great movie.
Yep.
And Daryl Hannah, right? Wasn't that Daryl Hannah? And who was the young fireman?
I remember he had to do like 20 insults or something in the bar.
He said, that's the best you got? Yeah. And he hit him with a backhanded wrist. I mean, that was
Keep that guy away from my cocaine.
That was a great movie. Really, really well done. Anyway, Roseanne, if you're looking for it. Roxanne. Like I said, I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Music, movies.
I got nothing. I have nothing, and it's not going to get any better. By the way, we have newsy stuff, but I really don't feel like it right now. We'll talk about Elon Musk. We got the Virginia mom thing. It's kind of kinky. The homeless problem, stuff like that. And by the way, we've kind of done sports people. We will talk about it anytime you want to, because I'm not sure how long you're going to last.
It's college football, big time.
No, we'll do it, but I do it whenever you want, because I'm not sure how you're feeling. I want to make sure we don't, if we ain't too late, because we're going to do it at the top of the 5 o'clock hour. If you're
do it now if you want.
All right, well, let me do this one thing, and then maybe that's a great idea. It's 4:40. I got this Facebook message, and it says it's from a lady named Jana, and she says, my mom, who is freaking hot as hell from Kentucky, has the biggest crush on you. I'm going to send you pictures. And she, and she did. She sent me a picture of 4 of these ladies in like black leather costumes, like biker chicks and things like that. And so I wrote back and said, well, I'm getting all tingly. And she said, oh, you're so funny. I love your show. And then BTW, like, bite this weed. I don't know what that stands for. By the way, probably. Anyway, and I told her I'm going to talk about you on the radio. So now we got a middleman flirting with some lady's mother. So that, and notice there was the talk about me trying to get me a date for the morning show with a Rhino, and those guys kind of went by the wayside. By the way, I was listening this morning. Rhino, in fact, I noticed this the other day, and I forgot to mention anything. Rhino says he's lost something like 80 pounds in the last several months. 80 pounds. Pete, have you seen him? You probably haven't seen him lately, have you?
No, I haven't. He wears those overalls, kind of baggy.
But I noticed the other day he looks like half his guy. Flounder, have you noticed that? I heard him this morning. I think he said he lost 80 pounds.
I saw him this morning, and he definitely looks a little thinner.
Yeah, he's definitely lost a lot of weight.
Years ago, he lost like 100 and something pounds. He used to be bigger.
Yeah, he said he was dangerously fat before, and the doctor told him, you're dying if you don't love it.
He had the nickname Meatball.
Well, there you are. That's not.
I guess the old lady ain't cooking for him anymore.
Apparently. Let me do this thing that happened today in Publix. I got the big kick out of this, and I almost got my ass handed to me. I had to get some things. I had like 12 things at Publix, and so I put them in a cart, and I got out of Publix, and as I'm walking into the parking lot, as there's an Alfredo Publix, there's a car ahead of me who was backing into a parking spot, okay, which is fine, and he was like 10 feet ahead of me or something, and so I kind of stopped and made sure he had plenty of room. I couldn't tell. So I waited, car's backing in, and then I pushed my cart and start going forward again, and all of a sudden as the car's backing in, goes, big loud bonk like that. So I turn around and I said, go bitch, blow it out your buppa pop. You kiss my buppa pop. I'm trying to bring my cart down here in the middle of a freaking parking lot. And I start walking. And then the guy starts yelling at me. And I said, oh, yeah. And I turn around and I start going at him. And he gets out of his car and he goes, Semper Fi, Semper Fi. That's what he was yelling. And he saw my Marine Corps cover, my hat, with a USMC on it. And so I thought he was, bonking at me because I was getting in his way backing up. And then he was bonking at me and yelling at me because I said something. I was ready to go beat his ass or vice versa.
Yeah,
and
I've seen the video. you ain't beating his ass.
No, I'm not beating his ass. And he's a Marine, and he's a recruiter. He's working. He just came in from Albany, Georgia. He's been here a few months, and it was the nicest thing. And so I put my cart by my car, and I ran back to get him before he went into the store to talk to him, to tell him, and I yelled at him. I said, usually people yelling at me like that are just because they're about to shoot. So I said, but he was the nicest young kid, and I forgot his name. It's on the tape, and I hope you can get it, understand. And he's a recruiter, and I didn't tell him what I did for a living or anything. And I should have said, tell your friends to listen to radio. And I never think about that. I never tell people. But anyway, but I was so, and honestly, I was ready. I'm ready to go right to the car. I was in it. I bonk, and then to scream at me. Oh, really? And by the way, who the hell do I think I am? All of a sudden, I'm not exactly in the same shape I was in when I had my last fist fight and put that guy in the hospital. That was 10 or 12 or whatever years ago, and I put those other two guys. I had the shaved head guys. Anyway, long story. When I broke my wrist bones, well, he deserved it. Anyway, so I can't do that anymore.
Is there ever a day that you don't go to Publix and make a rolling ass out of yourself?
I know. I remember yesterday, and that sweet lady who paid for my groceries because she probably thought I was so grump-outified. But because I was being polite, I let two ladies ahead of me. Anyway, I don't know what's going on, but there's some freaking experience in Publix. There's the damnedest thing going on. And today, honestly, I was ready to get into it with that young guy, and he says, "Semper Fi, Semper Fi." I said, "Okay, sorry." Anyway, what an experience! I interviewed him and put it on Facebook and Rumble and YouTube and all that kind of stuff. So that was kind of cool. I'll tell you. Okay, it's a 4:45. When we come back, well, let's do Holy Crap at Sports. And then Pete can feel free to doze out or whatever with his migraine and medical stuff and everything, so we'll be fine. We'll talk about Elon Musk. The hot Virginia mama got caught by her husband with the twins. And the homeless people are driving the Northerners nuts. Good, you asked for it. You said you were a sanctuary state. Well, congratulations. How you like us now? It's 4:45 with a Kimmer. Pete for a while and Flounder on Let Her Rip Friday. Happy Labor Day weekend. beer. And glad to have aboard. Big start of a new season with Holy Crap at Sports and Pete Davis.
Yeah, the Braves-Dodgers series everybody's looking forward to, man. That first game has already proven to be well worth watching. So the series is going to be great.
Yep.
I don't even know who's pitching tonight. Who the hell's pitching tonight?
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
So I can find out for us.
Pete's been in the hospital all day with his migraine thing, so we're talking sports. That's it. Everything's fine.
Talking sports. College football has started. Oh my God! We already talked about Acuña and the Braves earlier.
Max Fried.
Max Fried.
Oh, it's
Started.
Max Fried. That's right. He's always after Strider. Yeah, that's a good thing. Georgia Tech at Louisville tonight.
What do you think?
Well, you know what? I'll be honest. When they decided to take Brent Key and raise him up to be the coach, I thought that was a mistake. I thought they needed to go out and get them a name to get the fans recharged and everything. But I really like what Brent Key has done since they hired him. He's really got the fans getting behind him. He's got some of the business community behind him. I think he's proven himself to be a pretty good recruiter. And so I'm willing to give him a benefit of the doubt now. I think they should give him at least 3 years and see what he can do. And he's a tech man, so let's see this out.
Plus, you still have the difficulty of recruiting, and for people who want to go to a technical thing there. So anyway, sorry, go ahead.
What are you saying?
No, I'm saying nothing. The dumb jocks aren't going to get in. I'm sorry. They still have standards, right? Do they still have standards, or are they gone the way of everybody else and they don't give a crap anymore because it's all whatever you get for your money? I think
there's standards.
I think there are too. I think so. That's what I'm saying.
Now, when I was sitting out there waiting in the waiting room today, I saw something. The ACC is going to allow SMU and Stanford and Cal to come in.
Yep.
But they put draconian measures, like they can't get a full piece of the pie for 10 years, that basically the ACC teams only have to go out to the West Coast every other year, while those guys are going to have to come 3 or 4 times to the East Coast.
But they're making up stuff. They're just doing it to try to put it together without really having a thing. How can you have Stanford be... I mean, this is just stupid. They should really just make, a 1, 2, and 3 and have 3 sections and go play the ball. I mean, at this point, it's getting ridiculous. Are you supposed to have rivalries and stuff? I mean, I don't know.
You cannot. They're not. They're trying to make an NFL 2.0, and what they're doing. College football is going to be fine. It's going to keep growing, but they're destroying what made it special. With the rivalries and stuff like that, and why people love it. As we'll find out when the new edition of the Totally Biased Guide to Southern College Football.
Tell us.
Which hopefully will be next week. I'm expecting 2 weeks, so if it comes out next week, I'll be very happy.
You were screaming at the guy yesterday, no, I want the type print for the whole damn story. Pete. If only you didn't want to put the full title print for the thing, the best dogs in football or whatever the hell, and the guy was being an idiot, and Pete had to yell at him. So
well, it's Los Angeles. They don't really understand
Southern
football. They were just
messing with you, that's all.
So, anyway, that going for us.
Idiots.
All right, what else did I see? I watched the Florida game last night. You boys are in trouble.
What?
You lost to Utah.
Utah, Well, Utah was ranked number 14, and Florida's not ranked at all.
But Florida should never lose to Utah.
Yeah, they just couldn't get it going.
Fallen. Yeah. And Billy Napier's already on the hot seat, which he probably already was. He really had, because not only was it mistakes out there made by the players, there were mistakes made by the coaching staff, by the play calling. They had literally 2 guys wearing the number 3 on one very important play, which screwed them over and gave Utah the ball back and everything. I don't understand why Napier can't get it going down there, because he was a really good coach. At Louisiana, where the hell he was before. But, they're in trouble. If he goes winless in the SEC this year, he's going to be history. Yeah. In fact, I think there's a lot of SEC schools that are looking on the schedule to see, hey, is Florida on there? Because it'd be nice to see the Gators on there this year. And how far have they fallen?
Yeah,
and it must be killing Gators fans to look at what Georgia's doing and what they're doing right now.
Yeah. Going to Utah for a ranked team in Utah and nothing. That's just got to be grading on them.
I was looking at the schedule here tonight. We got some decent. First of all, if you put a bet on Miami to win tonight, you're going to win.
Really? Just
Miami of Ohio is at Miami of Florida.
Well, I was going to say, who are they playing? I forgot. It's very funny.
It's the Confusion Bowl is what it is.
Yeah. And speaking of that, aren't there some new football players ready to start the season coming up here now? With there some unusual names of new football players?
Flounder would know about that.
He would. Is it time for that, Pete?
Why not? Go for it.
Here we go. Here's a lineup from the new lineup of the players that are ready for the season opening tonight.
Desquarius Green Jr., University of Notre Dame.
Ibrahim Moises, University of Tennessee at Chattanooga.
Jack Marius Tack-Theratrix, Michigan State University.
The Isaiah T. Billings Clyde, Coastal Carolina University.
The Jasper Probencrux III, South Carolina State University.
Leoz Maxwell Gilio, East Carolina University.
Javaris and Lamar, University of Middle Tennessee.
Devoyne Showery, University of Southern Mississippi.
Hingle McCringleberry, Penn State University.
Le Carpetron Duke Mario, Florida Atlantic University.
Dinklage Morgan, University of South Florida.
X-Miss Jackson Flaxen Waxen, California University of Pennsylvania.
What if you're looking for big plays all game long?
Yes, indeedy. By the way, Pete, have you heard about the AI-generated stories that have made such a ruckus about a high school sports game?
Yeah, that was going to be Skynet today. But
are we going to get? Are you going to last with us?
No, just go ahead and say it because we're going to talk about it anyway.
Well, it was. Well, we can do a Sky. I want to get another. We got at least 2 Lily Tomlins on. I probably got to get to. In fact, let's do that. Let's do another Lily Tomlin. Any more sports things here, Pete? Before I stop.
No, I just wanted to make a comment that even Elon Musk can send his child to a California school, and the teachers there will send him back a communist transgender.
We're going to talk about Elon Musk speaking out finally about his 19-year-old daughter who changed her gender to female, a boy to a girl, and changed her name to Vivian Jenna Wilson, saying she no longer wishes to be related to the billionaire Tesla CEO in any way, unquote.
That's a hell of a job that those teachers did on her.
Yeah, and he blames the school, and we'll talk about what that. In fact, we'll do a little bit after 5 o'clock. Let's do this. 4:57. A quick. How long's the Lily Tomlin thing? Like a minute, right?
Minute 15.
Minute 15. I got a minute here. Pete, in honor of sports stuff, I didn't know whether you were going to be or not, so I took a bunch of sports things here for us to think about. 1906, Jack Combs of the American League Philadelphia Phillies, American League Phillies at that point, pitched against the Red Sox in 1906 for 24 innings. He was the pitcher. 24 innings. 1971, Danny Murtaugh of the Pittsburgh Pirates hands the lineup card to the umpire. For the first time in baseball history, all 9 players are black.
Murtaugh.
M-A-U-T-G-H, I think. 1982, J.R. Richards returns to Major League Baseball after 2 years. He had nearly died of a stroke. It was in 1982. He was a fireballer for a while there. 1998, Mark McGwire, the Cardinals, hits 2 homers, numbers 56 and 7, to set a new National League record. He would eventually hit 70.
No, he didn't.
No, allegedly, yeah. Anyway, here's Lily Tomlin, 84 years old today.
One ringy ding. A gracious good afternoon. Is this the party who has answered my call? The Central Intelligence Agency? Good. This is Miss Tomlin of the phone company. Well, of course I know your phone was off the hook. Isn't it amazing the way we can still make it ring? Now, I know that. Of course I do. I know that this is a private, unlisted number that's changed twice a day for security purposes. It's the same technique we use for our repair service. Let me talk to the director. Oh, don't you lie to me. I know he's not engaged in any conference call with the White House. We have that line monitored also. Oh, very well. I will leave a message. Tell him that phone security has never been better, and that all the gang down here at Ma Bell want to wish him luck on his upcoming invasion of mainland China.
Lily Tomlin, pretty funny. 84 years old today. 4:59 coming up. The 37-year-old Virginia mother whose husband is none too happy about her getting to know the twin boys next door. Coming up, Pete may be ditching as long as you can last, man. I say go to sleep. Don't worry about it. We're off at 5:30 with Flounder standing by at 5 o'clock.
Good night, everybody.
Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right a blank. Ready on your dog. Target. Road guards out. How's it going? Look out, it's only me. It's only the Kimmer. 50, almost 5:04 on Labor Day weekend. It's great to have you aboard. Pete's back to resting. He had a horrible, he said it's the worst one he's ever had, migraine headache. And I've never had one, but I don't get, luckily, I've maybe had 3 headaches in my life that I can remember, but it's debilitating and horrible, and he's had them before. And remember, he had one we talked earlier in the program, our last day on the radio back before they blew us all out of there and sold us off. And he had to leave the show because it was so bad. So anyway, so he's feeling bad. He was at the hospital most of the day, and son needs some rest and lights out and stuff like that. So it's kind of nasty. 5:04. Flounders here, mechanical mangler at the controls. We're having a little fun. We got some stuff to do and goof around, and a quick historical note or two. On this day, 1954, the Alfred Hitchcock thriller Rear Window was released, starring Jimmy Stewart with a broken leg, sees a murder happen in the apartment across the courtyard. That was. Did you ever see that? Are you a Hitchcock fan? Oh, sorry, Flounders in the Bell. Was that a phone call or something? Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good. I was just cutting up something. I like Psycho, obviously. What was it? The Bird?
Rear Window, The Birds.
Rear View Window.
Vertigo, I didn't get. I for some reason, I can't believe she's the same girl or something. Whatever it was, I didn't get.
He was kind of a shady character.
He was a chauvinist. He ruined, what's her name? Janet
Leigh's career.
Yeah, was it Janet Leigh or the other one? No, the girl who was afraid of red in the movie with the one with the red stain, and it was her mommy. Oh, crap. She's somebody's mother. Her daughter's an actress. Oh, crap. I hate this. I've seen her. I can read it. I can tell you the dialogue and the freaking from Birds, The Birds. And she'd been, her mother was a hooker who had a sailor who roughed her up. Tippy Hedburn. Thank you, God. I got it. Tippy Hedburn. Hepburn. Tippy Hepburn. Hedren. Tippy Hedren.
Tippy Hedren.
Hedren.
Rod Taylor.
The Birds.
Ethel Griffiths.
Rod Taylor. Yeah. But Rod Taylor, I think I said Cary Grant. That's wrong. He was in something else. Anyway, he was in the one where he had to dive and the plane crashed, running on the road. What the hell was that one? Was that the one where he had Eva Marie Saint up in the hotel and they were on the Rocky Mountains? Huh? The one,
is it an Alfred Hitchcock movie?
Yeah, the one where we're up on the Jefferson, the South Dakota Monument, Mount Rushmore. What was that one? Anyway, I'm hopeless. Let's see. I'm truly hopeless. 1989. I can't believe it took this long. 1989. New American laws go into effect on this day in 89 that all new cars must have a driver's side airbag. Just kind of seemed like it would have been done a long time ago. I remember, you'll never have this happen to you, Flounder. I remember more than once in my 53 Chevy, my 55 Chevy, my 56 Chevy, my 54 Ford, I could name them all, had as a kid all jalopies, no seat belts and bench seats. And if you go screaming around the left-hand corner to avoid a dog or something, you're flying into the right on those vinyl seats, bench seats, you're flying into the right-hand side of the car.
My first car was a 78 Cutlass Supreme, which had bench seats.
There you go. Well, but it had seat belts, though.
Yes.
Yeah, well, there were no such thing. When I was, anyway. Okay. I'm sorry. We're goofing around. 507. Geez, I don't even know where to go. I got so much stuff here. I'm not even sure where to start. Oh, this is kind of weird. The Pentagon is now going to come up with a website supposedly to give everybody all the declassified information they need or can get about, quote, unidentified and anomalous phenomenon, UAPs, which used to be UFOs. They now call them unidentified anomalous phenomena. And they're going to have videos and photos and declassified, approved for public release, reports, trends, frequently asked questions on sections, links to official reports, transcripts, press releases, and other resources the public may find useful. The quote, the Department of the Pentagon is committed to transparency with the American people on this work on UAPs. Baloney! And they're only going to give you the declassified stuff. Well, that's not going to mean anything. Yeah, they're doing this so you'll stop looking and stop asking about it. In fact, you'll remember, or maybe you don't remember, there have been hearings. We've talked about this before, during hearings under oath. One of their engineers guys said, oh, no, there have been people hurt while they were reverse engineering UFO technology, trying to figure out what the hell made it up and how to remake it. That people were hurt doing it, and that the government absolutely has UFO technology and, quote, biologics of non-human origin. That means space creatures, something they're made of. And they've had them since the 1930s, and they know the exact locations where they're being held, unquote, under oath. So stop jerking us around. Just admit, they're here. They're probably freaking everywhere. And the fact that matters, we don't want to make them too mad because they'll kill us. Now, don't you think? I assume that's the only possible explanation why they aren't telling us the truth. Wait, was that a phone call? Is that a phone call? Who is that?
That is Jana from Facebook you were talking about earlier.
Oh, no. Well, hi, Jana. Is it Jana? Hey, baby, how's it going?
It's going good.
All right, now tell the little people who maybe just joined us who you are and why you're talking to us today.
So, well, first of all, we're neighbors. We live pretty close. I live in the Milton Alpharetta area on Highway 9. So I've been following you guys since you were, at the other radio station. And I met you actually on the night that Brian Kemp won the election, and we had that big event down at that sports bar in Decatur.
Oh, God, yeah, I remember. Oh, wow, that was a fun time. Sure, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and I was hanging out with Shannon and Kara.
Yes.
So,
oh my God, what a time.
Yes. So, anyways, I just love the show. I'm glad you're back on the air. I always kept up with you on Facebook and everything. So my mom hears me talking about you all the time, and she's like, "Who is this person you keep talking about?" I'm like, "It's Timmer." And so she finally goes to finds your Facebook page and sees you. She goes, "Oh my God, he's so good looking.
Oh, nice.
He seems like he's the nicest guy." So that's where that all got started. So I told her last night I was going to send you a message and let you know.
Well, and that picture, and I'm not sure which one's your mother. There were 4 of these very hot-looking, rather bizarre-looking, freaky-looking, leather-clad biker chicks. Scary. They look like they look like trouble to me. So one of them in there is your mother.
My mom is the one in the leopard.
I remember looking at the blonde in the leopard suit very closely. So, well, anyway, that's very sweet. Now, again, I don't look in person the way I look on my Facebook with my hat and stuff on. But anyways, you're just teasing me.
You're being silly.
Well, it's always in fun. Well, you're very sweet. It makes me feel good. Tell your mom I'm thinking about her right now. Thank you. And Jen, thank you so much. You're very sweet. You made my day
You're
better.
welcome.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Weekend. Thank you, sweet. Happy Labor Day weekend. That was so nice. And again, it's it's fun to be alive. It is. It's fun to be alive. And I've been celebrating marriages all day, despite not being married. And we had with Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze 21 years of marriage celebrating today, which I think is nice. Can we do another Lily? We have one more Lily bit. Might as well do it on her birthday. Have you got a chance? Okay?
I just had 2.
Oh, okay.
But I've got
that's
other
fine.
Comedy bits.
Oh, well, then let's do one of those. What the hell? We're almost out of time. We're getting off at 5:30 today, so it's 5:12. So here's a little something.
Here's Bill Burr talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Excellent.
I think it is. I think it comes down to the way he talks. That dude should be unloading trucks in Transylvania. That should have been the height of his success. But because he's a great man, he had the balls to move to America. Became famous for lifting weights. I lift weights, nobody gives a shit. He lifts weights, becomes super famous. Did he rest on his laurels? No. Next challenge. I'm going to become an actor despite the fact that nobody can really understand me. Against all odds, he starts making movies. Get down. There's a bomb. Get out of there. Becomes one of the biggest blockbuster stars of all time. What are you going to do next, Arnie? I think I'll marry a Kennedy. There's no way you can do that. Bam, he does it. Cherry on top, I'm running for governor of a state I can't even pronounce, and he wins the election. Why wouldn't this guy think he couldn't bang his maid in his own bed and get away with it? This dude has been in the zone for over 4 decades.
Bill Burr. 5:13 with a Kimmer, Sleepy Pete, and Flounder on Let Her Rip Friday, Labor Day weekend. Have a great time and be careful. We want you back next week, too. Look out. And look out, it's only me, 5:14 with a Kimmer and Sleepy Pete and Flounder. More fun stuff coming up. We're off at 5:30, the Georgia Tech game. We have this special broadcast thing with our neighbors, and so you're going to be enjoying a football game here around 5:30. If you need a safe and you don't know you need it, then you need it, and you know you need it from Atlanta Safe House. And go to atlantasafehouse.com. Honestly, I'm kicking myself because when I retired, went down to Florida, of course, my Atlanta Safe, I bought 2 of them. I gave one to my producer, Wayne, no offense. Anyway, I had a big gun safe, and they bolted it into the floor. And it was just a spectacular deal they had for me. And, of course, they're always on sale. Anyway, Atlanta Safe House down in Florida, when I had my medical records I needed for my VA stuff, I couldn't find them. They're gone. They're missing forever. And so, it goes to show, don't be like the Kimmer. Get yourself a safe and keep your assets protected. Lock them up. And I don't mean lock up the entire Biden family. That's true, of course. But your assets, your valuable stuff, your medical records, your kids' medical records, the back-to-school stuff, marriage or divorce or legal papers. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. And it's not only that. I mean, you don't have to get like a 6-foot big safe, although those are always on sale. Great price savings. Jewelry safes, business safes, high security safes, even a vault door. And they can put it anywhere you want. Lock it up, bolt it to the floor, anything you're looking for. In fact, go do this at atlantasafehouse.com. Go to their website and check out their product line, and you can see they have handgun safes. You don't have to get a great big one if it's just you're protecting a handgun from the kids or something or other, put in a closet or whatever, locked it up, they can't get to it. Even if they have the thing around, they're not going to get in it. So, I mean, it's just a great idea. Whatever you're looking to protect, cash, jewelry, they've got it all. Superior brands. Tell them the Kimmer sent you. And again, it's not that little teeny plastic box at the store with a little teeny key in it. That's not a safe, my friend. Tell them the Kimmer sent you. Lock up your assets. atlantasafehouse.com. 5:19. It's Blondie, former Playboy bunny. Deborah Harry was a Playboy bunny. And she's a heart of glass. 1977, Blondie with Playboy bunny Deborah Harry signed their first major record company contract with Chrysalis or Chrysalis? Chrysalis Records? That's Chrysalis as in the butterfly thing or whatever?
That sounds like a winner.
Okay, because isn't Chrysalis is the stage of a moth or something, right? Chrysalis? Of a butterfly or whatever? Yeah. And also, let's see, on this day in music history, 1967, the Beatles held a meeting at Paul McCartney's house in London to figure out what to do next because Brian Epstein, the manager, had died. They decided to postpone their trip to India, begin the already delayed production of their Magical Mystery Tour movie. They had 2 songs recorded for it, Magical Mystery Tour and Your Mother Should Know. And let's see, I'm just going to catch up on history stuff. We're getting off here in about 9 minutes because we're going to the Georgia Tech game. This is kind of weird. I remember getting in on this. 1999, the toy company Ty Warner announces that the last Beanie Baby will be sold at the end of the year, December 31st, 1999. Well, people went nuts. The last Beanie Baby was going to be a tiny black bear named The End. People were crazy. Eventually, consumer demand won out, and Ty Warner says no, and they're still making them today. 24 years later. 1878, America's first female telephone operator says, number please. Speaking of Lily Tomlin, at the dispatch company in Boston, her name was Emma M. Nutt. And this one's for Pete. It was a major merger in 1884. The Thomas Edison Construction Department and the Edison Company for Isolated Lighting became one firm. Edison used the resulting technology to design a remote-controlled tourist attraction whereby visitors can watch him sear the eyeballs of baby bunny rabbits for experiments or corrective lenses from any of his labs to make extra money. So, anyway, that's our inventor update of today. A couple quick things. The Fulton County judge in charge of the Donald Trump trial says it will be televised, and they will all be having a televised. 18 co-defendants as well will be live streamed and televised. Members of the media would be allowed to use computers and cell phones inside the courtroom for non-recording purposes during court proceedings. I guess only live then? Is that what that means? There will be pool coverage for television, radio, and still photography. Proceedings were expected to attract international... Well, no kidding. Good Lord. Let's see. Speaking of the feds, they're trying to get involved with a lawsuit going on in Alabama. We'll talk about that here in a second. First of all, celebrating some good news on the gender pray front, and we've got a couple quick stories on that, and I'll try to race along because I don't want to wait the whole time here. The high school football coach... fired for leading prayers on the 50-yard line is going to get his money, and he's also giving thanks at their opener tonight. The Supreme Court is, it doesn't even say what state this is in, I should remember, but it wasn't even in the story. He was just stupid. Supreme Court ruled that Joseph Kennedy, the coach, is going to get $1.7 million because prayer is protected under the First Amendment. He was at Bremerton High School for the first game of the season tonight. He says it's going to feel great to be able to know the First Amendment and free speech and freedom of religion alive well for all Americans. Politics is not going to be the one to save us. God's the one to save us. He's going to take a knee and give thanks to God following the game for being back on the field after his constitutional right to practice his faith was challenged, and he won. Now, Elon Musk, Pete mentioned him in the news. He has spoken out about his painful estrangement from his transgender daughter, calling her a communist and blaming what happened to her on her expensive private school. The kid is 19, legally changed her gender to female. It's a man, saying he's a girl. Changed her name to Vivian Jenna Wilson, saying she wants nothing to do with the billionaire CEO in any way. She went beyond. He says she went beyond socialism, being a full communist and thinking anyone rich is evil. He places the blame in part on the school called Crossroads, the private K-12 school in Santa Monica, where annual tuition's about $50,000. That's my daughter Jennifer. I thought it was Pete. She wrote. When she went to court to change her name, she said she texted her wife of Elon's brother that, hey, I'm transgender. My name is now Jenna. Don't tell my dad. Elon Musk has said, unless the woke mind virus, which is fundamentally anti-science, anti-merit, anti-human in general, is stopped, civilization will never become multi-planetary. Musk has blamed woke schools for his rift with his son, now daughter, but it's the first time he's named Crossroads, which caters to the children of the rich and famous. For example, Zooey Deschanel, Jonah Hill, Jack Black, Kate Hudson, Gwyneth Paltrow, Jack Quaid, son of Andy Quaid and Meg Ryan. LeBron James's kids, Bronny and Bryce, both went there. The school says, gee, we believe in the uniqueness of children as revealed in their very existence, and that it is the school's responsibility to foster their innate sense of the mystery and joy of life. All students had to take a class called Life Skills, which is group therapy, talking about their feelings as just as important as the Pythagorean theorem. Anyway, here we go. By the way, the Department of Justice is trying to block that phony, fake Rachel Levine, the freaking Navy admiral, who's really a guy with a tallywhacker dressing like a freaking girl and got admiral's stars. The Department of Justice is challenging what's going on in Alabama, where the law says it's a felony to try to describe puberty blockers and change children's gender when they're still children. So the Alabama Attorney General, a guy named Steve Marshall, said the DOJ is trying to block it, and he says, oh, hold on a minute now. We want the records of this Rachel Levine because she's one of the primary voices in the federal government allocating sex changes for children. She endorses puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones for children. And so the DOJ tried to block the request. They're trying to send a subordinate, but Rachel Levine, the phony, by the way, she was the head of that Pennsylvania Department of Health, and she put her mother in a sacred saved nursing home as opposed to the place where the rest of them went to go get COVID during the China virus. So she saved her own mother from a nursing home scandal and then became President's scumbag liar pants on fires, assistant director of health and social services or something for the free, and she's a freaking they made her an admiral. She's a guy. And she advocates biological sex revisionism and called mothers egg producers, offers hormones to children, and they're trying not to let her get away with it. Unfreaking believable. I mean, do we have time to play the Riley Gaines thing again? We got 2 minutes. Let's play. Here's Riley Gaines taking on Keith Olbermann. The idiot calls her a loser, and so she starts showing off her trophies, the swimmer girl.
All right, Keith, as I was getting my All-SEC first-team honors down to show you, I dropped it, and I broke it, which would be really unfortunate if I didn't have more of those, but lucky for me, I do, so let's go through it. SEC title, second in the country. This is my SEC Community Service Leader of the Year award, which actually got me a lot of money. Oh, another SEC title, an NCAA trophy. Oh, look, SEC Scholar Athlete of the Year. Believe it or not, I'm pretty smart. Another SEC title, another NCAA trophy. Oh, that's when we won an SEC championship as a team. Some more SEC honors. Oh, look, another one. That's when I broke the 200 butterfly record, the SEC record, which I still hold, making me one of the fastest Americans of all time. And so, Keith, I would be really sad if I broke this trying to prove a point to an old man who can't even seem to keep a job. But I've got more of these, so I'm not. Thanks, Keith.
What is Keith Olbermann even doing now?
I don't know. He's got a podcast. He's a media guy. He somehow gets out in the news. I mean, I guess he's his own influencer, and he's everybody hates him wherever he goes.
He's just a horrible human being.
Well, he just seems like such a jerk. And I don't really care. I don't really care or even know that much for that matter about what he stands for or anything. But I don't know. I mean, just screw the guy, whatever. And again, one top kind of newsy thing in the news today was that the President Pants on Fire got caught again using another fake name while he was talking with his son Hunter in 2014 about how to get Hunter's suggested partner's guy a job at the White House. And when Hunter said, hey, Dad, before you fill the position, please talk to me. This guy McGrail wants very much to serve in the Treasury Department. And sure enough, Dad got back to him, and 2 months later, he got the job. Well, I'll be damned. The fix has been in. Another example, they've got him. All right, we got to go. God bless America. Semper Fi. Thank you, Pete, Flounder, the whole crew. And Ronald Acuña, God bless America. Happy marriage. Semper Fi, everybody. I got to go. You're killing me.